Oh, I've done it again. I've started the live without my headset being on. What a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Anyway, I was just saying, welcome in. We're going to kick off where we left it the other day, just going through the practice exam and watching our old mate Jim's GAMSAT here to help us reason through the questions. But like always, I'll give him a crack myself first. Um, yeah, I can't believe I fumbled that again. Gotta remember to turn my headset on. Buffoon. Bloody buffoon. Um, and yeah, I'm just updating the stream information. Session 31 today. Look at us go. Look at us go. We are really flying through. Games out next week, so have we like, what's today? Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days till the games out. And just based on my practice exam results, like where I bought the online test and sat through it, um, the other week, where I'm, looking to. It's likely that I'll be doing a few more sittings yet, so not high hopes for this weekend, but we'll see what happens. We will. Um, okay, so that's updated. Update the Discord as well. Actually, thought I changed my. There we go. Okay, let's start. And I'm not doing exam condition stuff today because obviously I just think it's a bit beyond me. I'll read the question actually. You guys can't see it, so an electron beam of specific energy is a required radiation dose to a cancerous tumor. As the beam propagates, its field size increases on a circular plane perpendicular to the central beam axis. Area A0 at the skin surface. AD field at the tumor depth, and D is the tumor depth. Figure 2 shows percentage depth dose on the central beam axis. Different electron beam energies at different depths below the surface of the skin. The PDD depth dose is expressed as a percentage of the maximum absorbed dose. Otherwise stated, assume the source to skin distance, field size are the same for all beam energies. A edge of the field occurs. Depth dose, different depths and distances from the central. Whoops. Assume the edge of the field occurs where percentage depth dose equals 10%. ISO dose curves show lines of equal percentage depth dose for different depths and distances from the central axis. Figure 3 and 4 show these for 9 MeV, I'm not sure what that is, something volts maybe? MeV and 20 MeV beam energy. Stem here. Like there's 4 figures. Yeah, that's crazy work. Okay, the question. As electron beam energy increases, the maximum depth under the skin at which body tissue absorbs radiation. As electron beam energy increases, maximum depth under the skin at which body tissue absorbs radiation. I don't really understand the question. As electron beam energy increases, maximum depth under the skin at which body tissue increases and field size decreases. Decreases in field size. Is this question worded funny, or is that me? As electron beam energy increases, maximum depth under the skin at which body tissue absorbs radiation. Oh, okay, yeah, got it. The maximum depth under the skin, maximum depth under the skin at which I think it's increases and field. I think it's D, but we'll see. We'll see what our go with D. We'll see what our old say.
Well, I'd say typically would scare a lot of GAMSAT
It was very
sitters.
scary.
Okay, an electron beam.
Actually, I'm
As
just gonna get
electron
a
beam.
water. Okay, we're hydrated.
Beam energy increases, the maximum depth under the skin at which body tissue absorbs radiation. All right. So the first thing that I'm always looking for is I'm defining on my graphs what the variables represent. So electron beam energy. So what's that? So if I'm looking through the graphs, it looks like electron beam energy is MeV. And I'm not really, as you can tell by what I'm talking about, I'm not really looking at any of this stuff just yet. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. So it's basically saying as MeV increases, the maximum depth under the skin at which body tissue absorbs radiation is. So what am I looking for here? So it's something about absorbing radiation, like the maximum depth. So I see these graphs with depth below the skin, and then it's got these things. They percentages of absorbed radiation or something. It looks like it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's actually. I think it's actually C. Increases and field size remains. Field size remains the same. The electron beam energy increases. The maximum depth under the skin at which body tissue absorbs radiation. Yeah, I think it's C actually. My bad. I kind of rushed it. But you have to, you have 2 questions. 2 minutes, so.
I think that's fair to say. So it's got PDD. What's that? PDD is the percentage depth dose. Okay, the PDD is expressed as the percentage of the maximum absorbed dose. Okay, so I'm interpreting that as the percentage absorbed. So it's saying the depth where you absorb radiation. So that's like the depth where there is still some radiation. So as I'm looking at these graphs, it's got these like, oscillating things like that. So I'm just going to take the lowest one as a measure of, even though that says it's 10%, I'm going to take that as the minimum because it'd be somewhere slightly lower than that. But as long as I'm comparing like for like, I can generalize that trend. So in figure 4, I have a 20 MeV graph compared to figure 3, which is a 9 MeV. So as I increase that, I can see the depth below the skin where we have that last, that last kind of circle, which I'm taking as representing the minimum depth, sorry, the maximum depth, whatever. That's lower, so that's only at about 4 centimeters for 9 MeV, but when we go up to 20 MeV, it's at about 9 centimeters. So I would say the maximum depth. So the max depth increases. Then what does it say? The field size. So the field size, I would assume it has. I'm taking that because it has distance from central axis, and that's 0 in the middle there. So I'm taking the field length to be how wide it is. So if we look at figure 3 again, it's going from -6 to +6 on that distance on the x-axis, and then on the other one, it's not going much further, but it's probably going to about -7, -8 to +7, +8-ish. So I would say that that's increasing as well. So that
I
would be answer
how
D.
about that?
The the maximum depth and the field.
Because it's maybe I'll just show, but here compared to here, so 5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, so it's roughly what? 7, yeah, 7, 8, 7. I think they're the same. I think it remains constant.
Field size
I think it's C.
increases. Okay. Suppose that compared to the figures shown, SSD is smaller, but
So
ST.
he's just rolling with with D. I kind of want to check that because I don't know. I like my answer. I don't know how. Let me see how we got there
Like
actually.
for like, I can generalize the max in the middle. Where's that side on that distance? Like that. So I'm just going to take the lowest one as a measure of, even though that says it's 10%, I'm going to take that as the minimum because it'd be somewhere slightly lower than that. But as long as I'm comparing like for like, I can generalize that trend. So in figure 4, I have a 20 MeV graph compared to figure 3, which is a 9 MeV. So as I increase that, I can see the depth below the skin where we have that last, that last kind of circle, which I'm taking as representing the minimum depth, sorry, the maximum depth, whatever. That's lower, so that's only at about 4 centimeters for 9 MeV. But when we go up to 20 MeV, it's at about 9 centimeters. So I would say the maximum depth. So the max depth increases. Then what does it say? The field size. So the field size, I would assume it has. I'm taking that because it has distance from central axis, and that's 0 in the middle there. So I'm taking the field length to be how wide it is. So if we look at figure 3 again, it's going from -6 to +6. On that distance on the x-axis.
Okay. Okay.
And then on the other one, it's not going much further, but it's probably going to about
Oh no,
-7,
yeah,
-8
it's right. It is
to
D.
+7, +8
Yeah, right.
ish. So I would say that that's increasing as
Just because these bits. So I was looking at these bits. It's this bits we're interested in though. Yeah, makes sense. Whoops. Do the next question. Suppose that, compared to the figures shown, SSD, which is skin distance, which is source to skin distance. Suppose that compared to the figures shown, source to skin distance is smaller, but source to tumor distance is the same. For the 20 MeV beam, which of the following is most likely? A0 and AD will be smaller. Hang on, let me read the question. Suppose that compared to the figures shown, SSD is smaller, source to skin distance is smaller, source to skin distance. So I imagine that's so if that's skin, source to skin distance is like, so that's that, and then so that's one. That's two, it's a lot further away. Source to skin distance is smaller, so this one, but source to tumor distance. Oh no, sorry. Source to skin distance is smaller, but source to tumor distance is the same. So tumor, tumor. So for the 20 MeV beam, which of the following is most alike? A0 and AD will be smaller. A0 will be smaller, but AD will be the same. A0 will be the same, but AD will be smaller. A0 and AD will be the same. So area A0 is the field at the skin surface. AD is... Okay, so A0 will increase. No, decrease. Yeah, so A0 will be smaller. AD... A0 and AD will be the same. I think it's D.
as well. So that would be answer D.
Yeah.
The 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 maximum depth and the field size increases. Okay. Suppose that compared to the figures shown, SSD is smaller, but STD is the same. Okay, what are these things? So SSD is smaller. Where's that? The source to skin distance, and then the source to tumor distance. Okay, and then it's given me this figure. All right, so it's given me this scary looking cone.
Wait, let's take our time actually. So source to skin distance is smaller. So that means oh actually yeah, I was wrong. I think it's A0. Yeah, I think it's B actually. B. We're locking in B. Pretty confident with that one.
And it's basically said that this is the SSD, and then the tumor's down here, and it's given me this, and this whole bit here is the STD. So the SSD is smaller, but STD is the same. For the 20 MeV beam, I don't think that particularly matters,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
to be honest. The edge of the field, I don't think it particularly matters that it's 20 MeV, but it's saying the A0, which is this bit here, compared to the AD, which is that area. So it's saying that SSD is smaller. So I'm basically interpreting that as, instead of being where that yellow line is, I'm saying it's been brought up to here. Now, if it's been brought up that cone, that means that area is going to be decreased. If you have your cone like this and you go up, that's a smaller area. So I would say that that is smaller. I'd say that area is smaller. The STD is the same. I think that just means I would interpret AD as being the same. I can't see a reason why. I can't see a reason why. The only thing that's maybe throwing me is the 20 MeV beam, but I don't see a way how that relates because the area is still going to be the same. I think I can't see a reason why I would not go with that. So we'll go with B for D. Sorry, we'll go for B for 9. 10. Suppose.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Suppose that compared to the figures shown, STD, source to tumor distance, is smaller, but source to skin distance is the same for the 20 MeV beam. Which of the following is most likely? Smaller. Tumor is smaller, but source to skin distance. Actually, let's do it the opposite. The ISO dose curve and the radiation dose of the tumor will be the same. ISO dose curve. That again. Percentage depth dose. ISO dose curves show lines of equal percentage depth dose for different depths and distances from the center axis. Okay, the ISO dose curve, the radiation dose at the tumor will be the same. The ISO dose curve and the radiation dose of the tumor will be the same. No, the ISO dose curve will be the same, but the radiation dose of the tumor will increase. The ISO dose curve will be compressed, but the radiation dose of the tumor will be the same. The ISO dose curve will spread out, and the radiation dose of the tumor will increase. Notice that compared to figures shown, source to tumor distance is smaller, but source to skin distance is the same. Okay, so the ISO dose curve will be the same, but the radiation dose of the tumor will increase. The ISO dose curve will be compressed, but the radiation. I think it's B. The ISO dose curve will be the same, but the radiation dose of the tumor will increase. I think it's that. I think it's B again.
That compared to the figures below, STD is smaller, but SSD is the same for the 20 MeV beam. So now STD is smaller, but SSD is the same. So STD is smaller. So the tumor is closer to the skin, so it's been brought up. So if it's closer to the skin, it means on our graph, this is getting a little bit messy, but we had all these lines which are referring to different depths below the skin. So it's basically saying instead of being these low ones down here, it's the STD is smaller, which means the tumor is not as deep. So that means it has to be one of these higher ones. So it means our but SSD is the same, which is the distance from the source to the skin. I don't think that changes anything because the tumor will still be not as deep in the skin. So the radiation dose will be increased. So because we're up one of these higher ones, so the PDD will be a greater percentage. It'll be potentially the 90. Now, what will happen with the ISO curve? I think the ISO curve thing, which is figure 2, I don't see any reason why that would change. Because to me, that seems like almost it's just plotting the PDD at various depths. So that's not going to change. It's just like that's how much you would have at all those different points. So I don't think we're not changing that. The PDD is not going to change. We've got the tumor at a different depth, which means the PDD will be higher, I think. So I would say the ISO dose curve will be the same, but the radiation dose at the tumor will increase. So that will be answer option B for 10. Okay.
Okay, not bad. Okay, questions 11 to 13. The table lists the formulation of the R group for some carboxylic carboxylic acids of general formula R, COH. The value of the property H for each carboxylic acid is also Which of the following is the best estimate of the value of H for 2-chloropentanoic acid? Which of the following is the best estimate of the value of H for 2-chloropentanoic acid? For 2-chloropentanoic acid. Formulation of the R group. Some carboxylic acids of general formula are CH2. Value of the property H for each carboxylic acid is also shown. Okay, which of the following is the best estimate of the value of H for 2-chloropentanoic acid? What? How am I meant to know that? There's nothing in the stem to give me an answer for that. I swear, I think I just have to know something. The table lists the formulation of the R group, some carboxylic acids, general formula RQ, the value of the property H for each carboxylic acid is also shown. No idea how to answer that.
11 to 13. So again, we've got a little table. So which of the following is the best estimate of the value of H for 2-chloropentanoic acid? So we're really looking for a pattern here. So what's going to happen? So I want to look at I think I want to look at 2-chloropropanoic acid and 2-chlorobutanoic acid, because that's going to, if I extrapolate this pattern, that will give me a good estimate for 2-chloropentanoic acid. I think that's fair. So we have 45. That's going to, if I extrapolate this pattern, that will give me 11 to 13. So again, we've got a little table. So which of the following is the best estimate of the value of H for 2-chloropentanoic acid? So we're really looking for a pattern here. So what's going to happen? So I want to look at I think I want to look at 2-chloropropanoic acid and 2-chlorobutanoic acid, because that's going to, if I extrapolate this pattern, that will give me a good estimate for 2-chloropentanoic acid. I think that's fair. So we have 45.2 and then we have 45.6. So that should be 46.0, I think. So don't see any reason why it would be anything different. So 11 will be A.
What is that reasoning? What is that? So I guess the reasoning is we're just assuming that 2-chloropentanoic acid is between that in the table and it's just missing. I mean, okay.
12. Which of the following is most likely to have
That's crazy. Which of the following is most likely to have a value of H closest to 0.7? I guess based on that reasoning, we're just gonna go with this one's A again. Just no like math or anything, just to sort
The
of
H
guess.
value closest to 60.7. So it's got three. So there's basically 3, 4, 5 pentanoic.
I'm just gonna go 3-chloropentonic acid.
Hexanoic acid.
A.
So let's see. So really, I want to see the effect, I think, of changing the number out the front. So if I go from 2-chloro.
Oh, whoops.
So we
closest to 60.7, not 66.7. So 60.7 would be. Yeah, no
we
idea.
kind of just. I'll just bring that back. So basically, I could say from this, adding a carbon is like plus 0.5 ish of the H. So that's not really, doesn't have a massive effect. So I'll just leave that there, and just because I think it could be relevant because we've got carbon chains that are pentanoic and hexanoic. So we can see the effect. Now we know as well that 2-chloro pentanoic, it was 46.1. So as we go from 2 to 3 with propanoic acid, for example, we go from 45.2 to 60. So that's plus 15-ish. So that would be pretty good. I think 3-chloro pentanoic acid, I think would be roughly, it should be like 61 or 62 or something like that. As we go, now if we look at butanoic acid, when we go from 3 to 4, we increase about 5 as well. So it won't be 4-pentanoic acid because that's going to be too high. Well, it's going to be higher than what we have, which I think is pretty close. 4-hexanoic acid, that's going to be too high. So all those other ones are going to be too high as well because all of the changes there are going to increase the value. So that will be answer option A. Which of the following is most likely? So H, oh goodness. The value of H of all these very complicated molecules is less than, okay, so I'm just going to try to generalize.
Just likely. Yeah, this is a lot of reasoning power. I don't know if I have it in me. Okay, let's just do this and then we'll maybe call it a day. So the value of H. So 3-chloro it's 57. 7. So what's a carbon? So a carbon is
So if I look at what's there,
That was a lot of
it
reasoning
doesn't
time
really tell me any
for no
information
idea,
about
but that's
the
where we're at.
2-methyl. So as I'm just kind of looking at the general form of all these things, and it's got, a number, and then a chloro, and then a methyl, and then, a butanoic acid. Now, that's all the same. Well, sorry, the butanoic acid part is all the same between the two sides, so I don't need to care about that. Now, between the left and the right, it's got it changes this number as well before the methyl, but I don't have any data, I don't think, for the effect of adding um, a methyl group somewhere in the chain. So I'm actually for now, I'm just going to ignore that, and I'm just going to focus on the chloro part. So we know the effect of increasing that number on the chloro greatly increases the H value. So if we look at 3-chloro compared to 2-chloro, that would be higher. So I think I can rule out A. With B, I would say that looks true because 3-chloro should be less than 4-chloro. 4-chloro should not be less than 2-chloro, so that rules out C. And then for D, 5-chloro pentanoic acid, no, because it's got a higher chloro number and it's got more carbons, which also increases that. So it won't be D. So I think I can say pretty confidently that it will be B, that 3-chloro will be less than 4-chloro. And I've just kind of ignored all the other information that they gave me because I don't think that that's going to have as big an effect as the number out the front of the chloro.
Okay, that's like an hour. I'm happy with that. I think tomorrow maybe a little early start and an early study session tomorrow would be nice, and then we'll go from there. Probably just pick it up where I left off. Maybe actually tomorrow, what I'll do, I will do. I do it. I'm thinking of doing like an exam style just for time. Yep. So tomorrow, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this. I'll use this same test, and just with the remaining questions in the section 3, like biology, chem, physics part, I'll try and answer those with a time, and then after that, I'll come back with a little study session, and then go see my old mate Jim again, and we'll go through the reasoning. I think that's the plan. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next one tomorrow, hopefully. See ya.